I invite everyone to visit the exhibition occurring at the Galleria Italia on Borgo del Parmigianino at Parma. Know that Parma is the European capital of culture, and the gallerist thought well to present personal exhibitions of very important artists. In this case, he exhibits the artist Raffaella Corcione Sandoval. Come to see this exhibition because it will be like entering into a magical world. It will be like being able to see something through the eyes that could never be seen, which is the true objective of art, that of making visible the invisible. I expect you in this gallery, and while we show you some of these works, we will give you a more in-depth view on the artist Raffaella Corcione Sandoval, and you will remain truly emotional from the works that she has exhibited. Art has always been used to teach concepts. Pope Gregory the Great thought that works of art could better illustrate biblical concepts through example, as well as concepts of the Gospels. In this way, Raffaella Corcione Sandoval also wants to use art as a medium to illustrate her mystical concepts. She has well understood that to be able to capture the mind of the spectators and lead them toward philosophical reflection, to explain well her concepts of mysticism, the primary path, the fundamental path, is that of aesthetics. When you enter into the gallery, without knowing exactly that you are entering into this magical place, you see works of art, and they please you. Aesthetically, they are strong. And in the moment you come closer, you will be able to understand what are the concepts which, through this strong aesthetic of beautiful works, Raffaella Corcione Sandoval wants to present to you. The artist wants to carry the spectator through a mystical journey to lead them to knowledge, because the works have as fulcrum the analogy of Hermes Trismegistus. As you saw in the brochure, the title of the exhibition, which reminds us of the studies of Pascal, is Infinitely Small, Infinitely Great. Now let's look at every work presented, because it will be like entering into mythology. I will speak of a very interesting theme. I will be speaking of the goddesses. Astarte, the goddess related to the evening sky, the great Phoenician mother, goddess of fertility, goddess of war. Her name is mentioned in the Old Testament. We are now looking at the work dedicated to the goddess Harmonia, goddess of romantic love. We see this as well in the work dedicated to the goddess Inanna, Sumerian goddess of fertility, of beauty, goddess of love, but this time of erotic love, love that is the result of desire. Now we are looking at Enheduanna, the first known poet whose name was recorded, the first author in the world known by name, and the daughter of Sargon of Akkad. She was the high priestess of the goddess Inanna. In this work we are presented Ishtar, who for the Babylonians is the goddess of eroticism like Inanna, She is probably the most important mother goddess of Mesopotamia. She bears the title of Queen of Heaven. We see now the work entitled Isis, Isis, who represents faithfulness, the faithful companion, the woman who fights for her man, one of the main goddesses of the ancient Egypt religion, whose cult spread throughout the Greco-Roman world. We see the work here dedicated to Ninurta, goddess of the earth, who was worshipped for the first time in the early days of Sumer. In the ancient documents, she is goddess of agriculture and healing, who frees human beings from disease and the power of demons. Here we have Nisaba, the Sumerian goddess of writing, learning, and harvest. She is considered the patroness of mortal scribes and the scribe of the gods. Here we have Sarpanit, mother goddess and consort of the chief god Marduk. Others explain her name as the Splendid One, and she is sometimes associated with the planet Venus. She is known as Seed Creator, and is therefore associated with the goddess Aruru, who according to Babylonian myth created humanity. And we finish with Tiamat, the symbol of the chaos of primordial creation. She is referred to as a woman and described as the one who shines. It is suggested that there are two parts of this Tiamat mythos. The first, in which Tiamat is a creative goddess through a sacred marriage between salt and fresh water, peacefully creating the cosmos through successive generations. Tiamat is considered the incarnation of primordial chaos as well. Some sources identify her with the images of a sea serpent or a dragon. As the artist Raffaella Corcione Sandoval states, infinitely small, infinitely large, expresses the cosmic origins of humanity on earth and its interconnection with all things, as expressed in the words of Hermes. The primordial gods and goddesses represent the beginnings of human nostalgia for the relationship with the roots of our stellar origins and contact with our deepest reality.